My name is Vaughan Gething. I'm the Labour and Co-op Assembly Member for Cardiff South and Penarth in the Welsh Assembly, and I'm currently the Deputy Minister for Tackling Poverty in the Welsh Government. Well, I've been interested in the outcome of the rail debate that's happened here. I'll also be interested in the discussion around education today as well, and I'm looking forward to talking to delegates around issues within my own portfolio in Wales, in particular around the co-op contribution to childcare. Early this year, when I was a backbencher, I helped to launch a report called Rail Cymru that did set out a more worked-up model for what the co-op or mutual solution might be. From the Welsh Government's point of view, the Welsh Government can't definitely say it definitely wants to have one particular form of model or another before a new franchise is let. But within Wales, there's a real appetite to properly explore whether you could have a different way of running the railway. Partly about how money is used and how profit is used. Every operating group would want to have an operating profit, but where does that go? Does it go in a dividend to shareholders, or does it go back into the service and back into the community? And we know that many people now think actually there should be a different relationship between profit, the service and the public that it serves, because after all, railways are run by a public subsidy and by fares paid by the public, and at the moment that money goes elsewhere at the end of a franchise. We're also thinking about the model that Merseyrail run, which isn't a proper co-op or a mutual, but it is a concession, so there's a much clearer relationship between improving the service and seeing some of that money come back in to be reinvested. There are some big barriers. One of them is getting into the franchising process, because you need millions of pounds to put together a bid, and you also need to have a bond, I think it's £30 million, available in case something goes wrong in the franchise. So creating that sort of capital, that sort of money at the start of a process with no certainty of gaining opportunity to run a service is actually really difficult. And that in itself is a huge barrier to any new entrant, regardless of what model they want to run. And there are some possible issues around the involvement of the state or otherwise, but I don't think they're insurmountable. I think the biggest barrier for any new operator is the cash and then the credibility. If you want to run a big rail service for the wider travelling public, you need to be able to demonstrate you've got someone who knows and understands what it is to run a rail service, how to run it properly, how to make it work for the public. So you need those figurehead people who can actually head up a bid, people with real experience, and you need the money. And then the model itself is one that I think many people instinctively would want to support. Yeah, we're interested in what cooperative schools could be and should be, and I know the new Education Minister in Wales, Hugh Lewis, is a Labour and Co-op member, and he's interested in how co-op values and ethics could inform how our schools run and operate, and in particular their relationship with their community. And community involvement in schools is hugely important. We know that about 20 to 40% of a child's learning outcomes are about good classroom practice. So a poor classroom can make a big difference. A good classroom can make a big difference. But that also means that around 80 to 60% of outcomes are determined by the home and community learning environment. So the most successful schools already have an effective link with their community. Parents know and understand what it is to help their child to learn. Actually, having co-op values come into schools on a more strategic level could actually help to engender that greater community feel, and actually the prize there is much better outcomes for children and parents and the whole community. I think the future looks pretty good. There are 4 Labour and Co-op ministers in the Welsh Government. The Commission on Co-ops and Mutuals in Wales will report, and that report will be published over the winter. There'll be a Welsh Government response. And so come next year's conference, I think there'll be lots of ideas and lots more practice of what's actually happening in government in Wales. We're able to see even more clearly the strand of co-op and mutual thinking and action from the Welsh Government.